Congressman Glenn Thompson.
Thanks, Pat.
Well, thank you, Pat. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Patriots, one and all. You know, the Tea Party movement, the Patriots, the folks are standing up, and because you need to stand up. I know that you get called as many names as I do sometimes, but I only have one name for you: certain voters. And it's because of you that the vision and the wisdom of our founders will be implemented on November 2nd. When it came to the House of Representatives, members of the House run every 2 years. And there are many people that say to me, boy, don't you wish those were 4-year terms? And I have to tell you, after I was elected in 2008, was sworn in, serving in the people's seat of the Pennsylvania 5th Congressional District for the past 16 months. And after I got to Washington and I got to meet some of my colleagues, I am more than happy to run every 2 years as long as they have to run every 2 years. Patriots are what built this country. If it wouldn't have been for the first initial Patriots some over 200 years ago, this country would still be reporting to a monarchy. And it was Patriots that stood up and put everything on the line in order to earn the freedom and the liberty that we enjoy in this country today. Oh, on my lapel, I proudly wear a pin everywhere I go. And this pin is it's a reproduction of a button off of the uniform of a Continental soldier. And it's a very simple pin, but so symbolic. 3 powerful letters, USA. But the way the founders, the wisdom of our founders that we've seen in the Constitution, which has endured and been used as a model for forming other countries, other constitutional republics, for spreading democracy, their wisdom even came down to very minute details, like how do you design a button? You see, the letters on this button are intertwined. They're united. Because we knew that, and our founders knew, and we know today, that by standing up, by standing together, by standing united, we can make sure that we restore government to what it should be in this country, and not what we've seen the past 16 months. You know, there's a lot of slogans out there, a lot of pitches. You saw I'm gonna have nightmares tonight after seeing some of that stuff from the 2008 campaign again, Pat. But you know, it really comes down to the very basics and going back to the wisdom of the founders. And that's where I dedicate myself every day. And I know that's the things that you have in your heart, and while you're here, you dedicate yourself to. And that is the fact that we are all standing united, we are working together to make sure that the United States of America remains the safest, most prosperous, and freest nation in the world. And I have to tell you that what I've seen in Washington these past 16 months, every element of that is under attack. In terms of safety, our sovereignty is at risk. Where we see, whether it's cap and trade, which really amounts to a lot of things, and you've heard some very smart speakers already talk about cap and trade. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I have to tell you, overall, I think what cap and trade amounts to, it's a bailout for a failed European Union. It's what it amounts to. They implemented cap and trade 7-10 years ago, and it has failed miserably. And today, those countries in the European Union, they want the United States to implement cap and trade because they want us to bail out their economy. And we have a choice today, folks. We can choose either be, let me put it this way, we can choose to be either Greece or New Jersey. New Jersey's right. New Jersey, that's a state that has had problems, has struggled. They've went awry with taxes, with liberal policies. But to show you what difference one election makes, you just go back to November of 2009, just a few months ago, really. And the governor, the conservative governor that was elected there is now putting changes. They're slashing their budget. They're reducing the size of government. They're restoring the power to the people. So as we go forward in this coming year, we really do have a choice to make as a country. Will we be Greece or will we be New Jersey? Absolutely. Let's talk about jobs. You know, you will find that there are many that will try to tug on the heartstrings of Americans. We're seeing that now with illegal immigration, and they're great at spinning things. But the number one issue we have in this country, and don't let anybody tell you anything different, is jobs. Yesterday, the unemployment data came out, and unemployment again went up in this country. It's now at 9.9% unemployment. And it's a whole lot higher than that in parts of my congressional district that I serve. So our first responsibility that we need to be doing is putting Americans to work and strengthening American companies. And the policies that are being rolled out of Washington in the past 16 months have been all about crushing our economic engine. Because for me, the only true economic engine in this country are small businesses. Those men and women that have a dream, they want to start a business, they're willing to sacrifice, they're willing to work 7 days a week and 16-hour days. But what have we seen out of Washington? We've seen time and time again of taxes being levied and just piled on the backs of those businesses. If we looked at the economy as a football game and small businesses as one of the teams, there'd be yellow flags flying everywhere for piling on, because that's what's happened these past 16 months. We need to grow America. We do that by strengthening our small businesses. We do that not by tripling the size of the EPA, the Excessive Punishment Agency. All right, a few folks got that. That's good. I'm always concerned, Pat, when I tell them the joke like you tell, that nobody's going to get it. But to triple the size of the Environmental Protection Agency, the burdens, what that will do to our businesses into the future just means just terrible things. So I'm very, very proud to be able to join you today. The congressional district I serve includes part of Crawford County, which is a wonderful county. I wish I served it all, but I'm privileged to serve just part of Crawford County. I woke up this morning in Center County, low town, between two mountains outside low town of Howard. It was like summer there, folks. When I got to Cook's Forest, it was like spring. And I don't need to tell you what it feels like here. So I wish I'd put my snow shovel in the car before I come up. I should have known better, I guess. But I want to thank you for what you're doing. I want to thank you for standing up. Patriots is what has made this country strong. And what you're doing today is you're serving and you're making your part in history by standing up, by insisting on better government, smart government, smaller government, and the fact that you're holding elected officials accountable. That's the way our founders intended to. You know, they talk about 3 branches of government. I think there's 4. And I'm not counting the czars. Okay? Legislative, judicial, and executive branches. Well, the founders, everywhere you look in the Constitution, it really doesn't name the 4th, but it's there. It's the people. It's the fact that the Constitution gives the right of people to petition Congress. And that means holding Congress accountable. And thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. It's a real privilege and an honor to be able to serve you and work for you in Congress in the seat one of the seats that represents Crawford County. Thank you.
He's going down to St. Mary's where it's a little bit warmer than it is up here right now. I really appreciate Glenn coming up here. He doesn't have to, you know, he's up there, he's got that little bit called Titusville. And then he moves through, 17 other counties? Yeah, it's I think 3/4 of Pennsylvania over there or something.